Hello, my name is Dr. Uriel. Alright, so there's three types of fingerprints. Loops, there's arches, and then there's whorls.
And I know she'll be the death of me, at least we'll both be numb. And she'll always get the best of me, the worst is yet to come.
So there's different characteristics for each type of fingerprint. For loops have one or more ridges enters from one side of the print, recurves and exits from the other side. So it like curves around and goes like that, like boom. Like my thumb is like that. Boom. So all loops have one core and one delta, which are minute points.
She told me you'll never be alone.
Two different types of loop. Ulnar loops opens toward the little finger. Radial open towards the thumb.
But I love it. Oh, I can feel my face.
Ridge enters from one side of the print and rises in the center and exits off the other side. So then it's like boom. So it's kind of like this, like boom. Right? And there's two different types of arches. There's a plain arch and then there's a tented arch. And arches do not have these type of minute points. They don't have type lines, deltas, or cores, unlike the loop. So it's basically the opposite of a loop. It doesn't have a delta or core.
She told me don't worry no more. We both know we can't go.
There's four distinctive loops. There's plain world that has at least one ridge that makes a complete circuit, like a car maybe. And then there's an imaginary line between the deltas that touches the spiral ridge. So there's a delta that touches the spiral ridge. And then there's a soft central pocket loop, whirl. At least one ridge makes a complete circuit like the car. And then imaginary line between the deltas does not touch the spiral ridge, alright? Does not touch it. That's how you know it's a central pocket. Now there's a double loop whirl. That's the next type of one. Makes two loops combined together. So two circuits faster than the other cars.
No way.
An accidental whirl. An accident. Contains two or more patterns or doesn't fit anywhere else. So it doesn't really just like what the hell.
We both know we can't go without it. She told me.
A fingerprint may contain up to 150 individual ridge characteristics, and those are called minute points. And minute points are used when crime scene analysts need to compare one fingerprint to one found at the crime scene. So if they have the same minute points, if they have the same minute points, that means they're the same fingerprints, and that's how you can like take someone to jail. Yeah. In illustrations, there are different minute points. All right. I'm going to tell you how you can identify minute points. So there's 12 in total. One is called the core. And you can tell if it's a core by if it kind of looks like a loop. So it loops around and it has multiple loops. So yeah. And the ending ridge, you can tell if it's an ending ridge when there's two lines between and then there's a long line. You see how it ends like it's near the end? Yeah. So you can tell by that. And then the next one is a short ridge. You can tell it's a short ridge if it's basically the same thing as an ending ridge, but it's short and doesn't end nowhere. And you can tell if it's a fork, if it slants, if it kind of looks like a fork, you know? Like a fork has like four things, but it's only two. It's a fork. Like, you know how you poke at a steak? It's a fork. Now a delta. So a delta basically is like an upside down T. Upside down T, or a peace sign. Sideways kind of, diagonal-ish. Alright, a hook. A hook is basically a short ridge, but instead of it in the middle, it goes off the top line. And an eye is basically, you can tell if it's an eye if it's like an arch where it curves around, but there's a line between that connects it, and gives it like a UFO type look. And a dot or an island, you can tell if it has two lines in between and a dot. So that's why it's called a dot. Crossover, when I cross you up, second point. But when I cross over is when two lines cross each other, so it's like kapow. A bridge is basically two lines and then a line connecting both, so it looks like an eye. And then enclosures are basically an eye, but with a dot or a line. And a specialty is, it looks like a ear. So it's like literally, it's like it's like an arch, but then there's like another little. It's like a 2. All right, here it goes. It's basically an arch and then a 2 and then a line under. So there you go.